Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cup Network. Well, the Cup Pod. I don't know what we are. I don't know. We're the Cup. I know that, and we're part of the Cup Network. Period. We're the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we with the real entity in reality, and where you come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea her. But for somebody who loves some tea, she surely does not drink enough tea. I have nothing to drink today because I did not go grab anything to drink. And that's okay because I'm not really that thirsty. So maybe I'll grab something for our companion show that we do, maybe. But we'll see. But if I was drinking anything else, maybe I'll drink some tea later. Who knows? But I would be drinking it out of my cup mug. Panel full of cup mugs. Panel full of cup mugs. And you can get your cup mug or any of our cup merch at lanagscreations.etsy.com, where we do ship domestically here in the US and Canada and Mexico. And we do ship internationally. So there are no excuses. And I'm looking at you, friends. I'm looking at you. And if you haven't checked out our Etsy shop, you might want to do that very soon. We will have a drop. I said tomorrow today, but it might happen tomorrow. So Sunday we'll have a drop of the new merchandise in our Etsy shop because I am busy today. I did not realize how busy I actually am today. So, but it will drop tomorrow for sure. So check
Which is
out.
probably a couple days ago by the time this is.
Yeah, by the time you see this, it will be a couple of days ago. But Sunday, June 16th, I will be dropping some new merch in the Etsy shop. So check that out. Thank you.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a good intro, but I do have a good shirt. I have a Gigi Good shirt.
Ooh.
Yes, I decided to wear my Gigi Good shirt because we're talking about a ball, and Gigi Good was a ball winner. So, and I love Gigi. But I'm just drinking some water slowly making my way through.
Word. We love that for you, David. It'll get done, and you'll get a new bottle someday. I believe in you. But yes, we are here to talk about Drag Race France, episode 3. It is the ball. It is. I was like, oh, great, the ball. Let's do this. Before we jump into it though, y'all know what to do. Hit the subscribe button here, notification bell here. Go to our links tree to get all of the links to all of our YouTube channels here in the description below. Click on all of those links, subscribe to all of those channels, and hit the notification bell for all of those channels. Get us in the algorithm. We're growing and we're trying to do our best. So help us out. Give us more subs. As David said yesterday, we have too many DOMs. We need more subs, period. So give us some more subs and hit the subscribe button and go join our membership also, because we do have a membership channel where you can get early access to things across all 4 channels and exclusive content across all 4 channels. So check that out. And our audio links are also down there. So if you just want to listen to us on the go, our audio links are in that link tree that I just told you about. So go down there and do all those things, click all those things, subscribe to all those things, and we appreciate you very much. Now, we're getting back into Drag Race France. And we get back into the workroom after the very sad, very upsetting departure of Magnetica. Still very sad about that. But
Me too. And I really hope she comes back. And this would be the perfect episode to bring her back. So maybe she came back.
Maybe she came back
because she would kill this ball.
I think so. So everybody was sad. They're very sad. Ruby on the Nail is very sad. She's like, I hate to be the one to have to send her home because I know she's an amazing queen. She has a lot going for her. We're going to be missing out on a lot and I think they knew they're gonna be missing out on a lot of good looks coming from her, and so everybody was sad, but the show must go on. They congratulated Perseo for winning, and then they moved on. It really was so quickly. They kind of just like, we're sad. Congrats. Let's go.
And I'm
And
okay with that, especially
me
when we
too.
have a lot of looks to look at. I'm like, might
Absolutely.
as well just keep it moving.
Keep it moving, keep it going. Like I appreciated that very much. So the next day, they come in. Perseo's very happy to see her picture. We get the uh Cocolia, and we get that ugly thing from Nikki. Every
I
week I get
know.
mad at
I
seeing
know.
that.
It's so bad. I think the
Every week
wig is my least favorite part of it.
yeah.
Just with the random yellow in it.
It's too Ronald McDonald. It's very no, I'm
It
not a
is.
fan. I'm just
But
not a fan. But
by the way, I do want to say, like, we heard you all in the comments last week about the comment that La Philippe said and how it might have been misunderstood on this podcast. Yeah, we absolutely heard that. So thank you all. We always count on our wonderful commenters. I love the comments. So please leave as many comments as you can.
absolutely.
I will read them all. But yeah, thank you all for clarifying what she said. And I guess it was a misunderstanding. I didn't catch it at all, but yeah.
I mean, I wasn't here last week to talk about that. I too thought it was, but see, it's the subtitles. Y'all also have to understand that we're getting subtitles. We're not fluent in French, and so when she said it, and when what the subtitles said, I was like, that doesn't seem right. But also, we also understand that there's a cultural difference in between what we say when we mean something and what other people say when they mean something. So we appreciate you in the comments. Definitely keep commenting. I do enjoy reading the comments. If I don't respond to all the comments, it's because last week didn't involve me, so I really didn't say nothing. But any comments I'm in, y'all know I'm gonna respond. But no, I do enjoy reading the comments. I do read all the comments. We read everything here at the Cup. So please continue to comment about everything. Set us straight about stuff because some things we just don't know. And we appreciate you. And if we say something that is not right, correct us when we're wrong. And then praise us when we're right. Yay. We love y'all. But yeah, I'm glad they cleared that up because I did too. Also felt like what? But I wasn't here to talk about it. But yeah, it was they I don't like Nikki's look. I think that's where I left off. I don't like Nikki's look.
No.
In the TV screen. Like
Right.
I hate that. But she comes in looking fabulous and out of drag. Like I love the little red suit, and Nikki knows how to dress. I love seeing Nikki in and out of drag dress. That just was not it for me in the street. But Nikki comes in and tells that the mini challenge, since France is hosting the Olympics this year, and so this mini challenge was about the Olympics, and it was very much like we're going to do in the spirit of Olympics because they don't have drag Olympics, which being a drag race is not an event in the Olympics, unfortunately. Like, darn it, don't understand why, but they don't have that, so they're going to make their own games. And they had 5 minutes to get into quick drag, Olympic style, sports themed drag. And after they paired up in teams because they were going to do a whole Olympic Games. And I think I can't remember if I remember all the teams, but I think.
Oh, I have them.
Oh, well, go ahead.
Yeah. So the teams were Leona and Norma, Misty and La Philippe, Adeja and Perseo, and Lula and Ruby.
Okay, cool. So all the teams go, they do their quick drag, they come back. The first event is the wig toss. And so I found this one so freaking funny. Oh, I found this so freaking funny. I don't know what was in my cereal this morning that I ate, but after I ate my food and watched this, I was laughing like a crazy person at the wig toss. It was so fun. Adeha came up there and was just like, how? She slid on the floor and slid, and that wig with the visor there, whoop,
It launched. It was a projectile wig. It's a good thing that only one person per team had to go.
Yes, because everybody wasn't wearing wings.
Right.
Some people had on swim caps. So
Yep.
it would be like, yeah, that ain't working. Baby, I think I laughed so hard at that. And then the person who came after her was like, swoop. And that thing said, choop.
There were a couple of them that barely launched.
It barely launched up. It was just like, swoop.
But my favorite was the last one. It
When
was
she was
Philip.
like,
She really prepared for this. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be good.
oh, she's going to fly. That thing said, whoop, whoop.
But not only that, but then she fell down too, and her boobs fell out. I'm like, poor Philip.
Oh my God. I laughed so hard. It was so crazy. Oh man. Oh, I was laughing so hard. I was like, oh, I'm so glad I've been here by myself. Because I was laughing way too hard. But
how do you think you would do at this?
oh no, I would lose. My
lose?
wig would be the one to go whoop, whoop. Because number one, well, it depends. It depends. I would prepare for if I was known that was going to happen.
Mhm.
Because sometimes I wear my wig without my wig cap, and so it's just, and I pin it and like put the combs in my actual hair so it doesn't move. Like this is not coming off. I can shake it it's not coming off because I got
it has come off on the podcast before.
But that was because I was wearing a wig cap and it just slipped right on off. But this one, it ain't coming off.
Nice. I will never forget that moment. You making fun of Sipario in DragRace Italia.
Yes, I do remember, David. We don't have to continue to bring that up, but I said I remembered. I said I remembered. I don't know why you have to make everybody remember the exact episode to go back and watch to look at it. I don't know, David. I feel like you just like making me look
I had your back. I took you off screen.
You did after a while.
Logan was like, do it again. And I'm like, no, Logan, we're taking her into the backstage.
I was over here like, oh God, I'm struggling. I'm struggling to get it back on. But yeah, it fell off doing that one because I had my wig cap on. But this one wouldn't do it. But yeah, if I had my wig cap, oh, that thing is launching. I'm launching it because I'm a wow, and it's gonna go. But no, yeah, no. So yeah, I would mine will go. But then the next event was about the runway fashion. Be on the runway, and it was red light, green light, but on the runway, and you had to strike a pose and not get caught moving.
Speaking of Italia, did this remind you of a mini challenge we saw on there?
Yeah, it really did.
But I'm very glad that this was fair because every time she made a call about who was eliminated, that was the same person that I was like, oh, that person was like slightly behind. So I felt like it was very fair.
Yes, it was. I want to ask, what was Ruby thinking getting on the floor like that when she was already behind? I was like, Ruby, you're losing. Why are you sliding up on the floor like that?
True. Her thought might have been, oh, I'm less likely to like trip or slip or stagger a little bit. So
and
I think
everybody else will move before she did.
Yeah, she was going for accuracy, I think, and not speed. And yeah, I think she was hoping other people would trip up. But Leona did not trip up.
Leona did not. She did not trip.
Yes.
And she made it across the finish line and she won a point.
Yes. So 1 point Adeha, 1 point Leona, 1 point.
And the next one was a water game where you had to compliment each other. And then with a straight face, throw water in their face, and you could not laugh. If you laugh, you're out. And Lula and Norma kind of ate this up. They kind of ate this up. They made it to the finals, and they were going back and forth and back and forth. And it really just came down to a decision call for who
Who
Nikki
was
found more
funnier?
entertaining
Mm-hmm.
because Norma and Lula were not laughing. They were not cracking straight face all over, just like, I love your shoes. Then they get the water in their face and like, nothing. I was like, oh, okay. But it was who came was more funnier, and Nikki gave it to Lula. So it was 1 point Lula, 1 point. But I think Norma got a point because of the first round that she was in. I think and Lula got 2
Yeah,
points.
Norma had a point due to Leona winning the second
Mm-hmm.
round.
Right.
So we had a
So
three-way tie
yes,
between three teams, and Misty and LaPhilip were the ones that did not get any points.
no
So
points.
then they just randomly, I was like, oh, there's going to be a tiebreaker. But no, it just seemed like they randomly like picked maybe who they valued the most. Maybe each challenge progressively got more
But
important
right.
because the bronze went to the winners of the first round, which were
Mm-hmm.
Adeha and Perseo. Then silver went to the winners of the second round, which was Leona and Norma. And then our gold winners were Lula Strega and Ruby on the Nail. Not Ruby on the floor, but good for them. Two
Good for
people I
them.
like a lot. So,
Oh yeah, I did have manners for that. They won the mini challenge. Yay!
yay.
Oh,
Is it up?
they won the mini challenge.
There we go.
Yay!
Yay.
Don't know why that didn't click, but yeah, they won the mini challenge, and it was great for them. So then Nikki announces that they're having a ball, and they're going to stick with this sports theme, this Olympic
Olympics.
theme. So it's like, cool, great. So the first category was the torch, the flame,
Olympic torch, yes.
the Olympic torch. So they had to do that. And then the second look that they were going to have to make was um,
Opening ceremony.
opening ceremony looks.
2 looks for a ball?
2 looks. I was
What?
like, that's it? 2 looks? And she was like,
That's
yep,
weird.
two
That
looks.
doesn't happen. I'm trying to
I
think of a
was,
time that has happened. For a
well, I
ball?
don't know.
I don't think it. I
I've
don't know.
I've only seen 3 looks per ball. Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
so I
I
was
mean,
like,
I'm even watching. I've been rewatching like old seasons. I just like within the past couple of weeks rewatched the first 3 seasons of Drag Race US, and it was always 3 looks and a ball
mm-hmm.
from the very first season. So I'm like, I'm confused.
I was very confused. But we did get Nikki saying that something about rules changing or things are changing. And so she kind of left them at that, like some things will change. And I guess one of the changes were we having 2 looks for the ball.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, well, I was like, for me, I was like, okay, good. One less look we have to talk about. Cool, let's move. Um, so we get to everybody starting to either thrive in the fact that it's a ball or panic because it's a ball. And those who they were like, who can sew? Not a lot of people could sew. And I was very shocked by that because usually it's at least 3 or 4 people who can sew or has some sewing knowledge. And
Hmm.
then it's like everybody else is kind of like, oh, I don't know, it's gonna be blue gun, blue gun, blue gun. But I think it was only 2 people who actually knew how to sew.
Who was it again?
I think Misty knew how to sew,
Hmm.
and I think
Was it Adeha?
Adeha knew how to sew,
Yeah.
which I was like, okay, so y'all know how to sew. But everybody else is freaking out. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know how to sew. I don't know what to do. And then these materials that they had to choose from, which was from Nikki's gym, um, lots of rubber balls and yoga mats and hoops and ropes and, just gym equipment things that they had to choose from. And they was like, I don't know what to do with this stuff. Like,
Hmm.
it was interesting. I didn't realize so many people did not know how to sew, and some people were like, "Well, I got a couple of lessons before the show." Somebody said they had spent 4 hours on the sewing machine before the show, but they forgot everything that they was taught, so they don't know nothing no more. I'm like, "Yeah, that's interesting." So I was a little surprised that not so many people knew how to sew.
Right. Yeah. And like, especially like Leona, she seems like somebody who would be well rounded and know how to do that. And I think she was panicking the most
The
of
most.
anybody.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. She was just. I don't even want to sit here across from Misty because Misty is making me like. I was like, oh my god. She was pretty.
Hmm.
But she was also the most ambitious. She was like, I want to make pants, and I was like,
Yep.
girl, a pants?
Yeah, we had Nikki come in and talk to everybody about their sketches and their ideas, and so that was one of the ones that stood out to me was her talking to Leona. She's like, Leona, that's very ambitious. Like it's hard to pull off pants, like hard to get the right construction. So I was
Mhm.
getting a little worried for her, but we do love a good pant look when it
We
works.
oh, I love a good pants when it works. I'm like, oh
OMG,
my
it's
gosh, it's
pants.
pants. Like, I love a good pants look if it works. But I was like, that's very ambitious. And me watching a lot of Project Runway lately, I'm seeing how even designers who are this is what they do be like, I try to steer away from pants because pants are hard to make. So I'm
Hmm.
like, wow, you are, wow. And that's what you want to do when you don't really have to. But
Right. Yeah.
uh,
I, but I'm like, I hope it turns out good, girl, because you're pretty good so far at everything. But
right,
another one that stood out to me was Persea. She was trying to decide if she wants to go with a look that's like very Canary Islands, like we've been seeing from her week after week
hmm,
already, or does she want to do something completely different? And Nikki was highly encouraging her to think outside of the box, show us something new. So it was kind of an angel and devil on her shoulder. Like, what
right.
does she do?
What does she
So
do?
yeah, I was very curious which direction she would go. But I kind of like it when a queen sticks with their guns as long as
Mhm.
it's not too samey. I like for
Right,
somebody to really show their brand.
right, right. I think. Well, we'll talk about it when we get to the looks. I think she made an interesting decision, a difficult decision, definitely. But I think she did fine for
Hmm.
me. But
Yeah, and we see Nikki talking to La Philippe about her look that she's going to do. She's like, "Why don't you have a sketch?" And I guess she just had like the ideas in her head. But for
yeah,
me, I'm like wondering how everybody is so good at sketching out their looks. Like every time I'm like, these look so like I draw and I
hmm,
could not come up with the sketches these girls do. And
no.
part of me wonders if they have like a person there helping them like sketch out their looks.
They have to because I would never be able to do that. Like I could have ideas, but I am not a drawer person. Like I can't draw a straight
Yeah.
line to save my life. So I'll be like, I want my shoulders to go out here like a flare, but I wouldn't be able to draw the flare on the
Right.
shoulder. Like I would never know how to do that. So I don't know. I don't know how they do it, but
I'm
all of these
curious. I
sketches
wish
be
there was
looking
somebody to
good.
ask. Like, I wish
Right.
I had a relationship with these queens and be like, do you all actually do these sketches yourself? Because they're very impressive.
I mean, I think maybe you have some impressions with some queens that you could ask.
Maybe.
I think we could ask questions on certain
Hmm.
people, but if they'll tell us, well, that remains to be seen. But I think
Hmm.
we could ask. Um, but literally after that, we had no day of runway. They went right to the runway. We just went straight
Well,
from
we do have a little bit of conversation.
eh.
They talk about like the lack of representation for LGBT people in sports, which is a kind of an
I don't.
interesting thing
Oh
because,
yeah, they did have that conversation,
yeah,
which is,
there
but I feel like it's not though.
really, I still think like it's rare that you hear about like athletes in a lot of sports. Like I remember it was only like 10 years ago when the first openly gay uh NFL player
Hmm,
was discussed. He was from Missouri. I don't
hmm,
remember his name, Michael something, Michael Brown, I want to say. I
hmm,
don't know for
hmm,
sure.
hmm.
But yeah, like it still is like rare. Like there's specific sports you hear about it more often than others. Like ice skating.
I
But
mean, I
yeah,
mean,
like I don't know.
I feel like some sports they're there, but they're not open, and it's not just to be open. But I know for of course, in the WNBA, lots of
Yeah.
openly queer women because that's just what it is. They don't care. And it is what it is. So they like, we're open, we're proud, and that's what it is. I think it's a lot more open for NBA players than it used to be now. But I don't think people want to say anything. I still think it's very much don't ask, don't tell for a lot of people in like the NBA and NFL. I'm finding more people in wrestling who are openly gay. Like they will put
Mm.
that into their storylines that they are openly gay. We do have quite a few people in the WWE that I watch that are very much openly gay and queer. And
Oh, really?
so,
Even men?
yeah, we have
Oh.
quite a few men. Actually, we got some men who are come out bisexual. We have men who are strictly gay who come out. We have women who are gay or lesbians, and they're very open about it. So I
Hmm.
think it's the times are starting to shift a little bit in sports. We have a lot more swimmers coming out saying that they're gay, a lot more gymnasts coming out and saying they're gay. Um, I just think the tide is shifting. It's slowly shifting, but like these manlier sports that you want to say, like football and soccer
Hmm.
and baseball and hockey, it's going to be a little slower for them. It's going to be
Yeah.
a little bit slower for them because we share these locker rooms and we don't want the locker room to change. We don't want people to start changing how they think around like, oh, if you're gay, you obviously been looking at me in the locker room. Like, obviously not because I know who you are as a person. So you're a trash person. So I actually don't like you.
Right.
But it's just, I do think it's an interesting topic, but I do think the tide is starting to slowly shift where people are being more comfortable with being who they are and being open about it. But they're
Hmm.
there. They are there.
Okay.
So many more.
Yeah.
But
Well, the only other thing that really stood out to me before we move on to the runway was we did hear LaPhilip talking about kind of sometimes being scared to like go out in drag and be herself
mhm,
because she's worried about having violence against her
mhm,
because it's just been a part of her life growing up is like having people be violent towards her. And I feel like this was an endearing moment for her because there has been discussion on this podcast about maybe she has not been the most like approachable character on the show so far.
mhm,
She hasn't really shown her softer side yet. And so I was happy that we got this kind of discussion, even though it was a hard discussion to be had.
mhm,
I never like to see people talk about uh, people being violent towards them for who they
mhm.
are as a person. That's never a good thing. So,
No,
uh, but it did really show me the softer side of her. So I'm really
absolutely.
liking her personally.
I agree. I think she even admitted that she's sometimes very cold and like standoffish to
Hmm.
some degree, and I think that is definitely because of how she grew up and being like I said, she's from Croatia, and so that's a colder place, and some people are not nice, and the fact that she had to hide herself and not be able to go out and just do what she wanted to do freely without the risk of being violently abused is is a reason for her makeup, is a reason for her character. It's like she had to be hard. She didn't want to be hard. She would
Hmm.
like to be a soft queen, but people are making it hard for her because they're trying to physically hurt her because she wants to be who she wants to be. And so I definitely empathize with her. I definitely understand that building that wall up and people seeing that wall as just who you are and taking that as that's just her when it really just takes getting to know her and breaking down those walls, letting her feel safe. She needs to be in a place where she feels safe to be soft. And I felt like in this moment in that room, she felt safe enough to be softer. And I kind of very much understand that and relate to that as far as being for me, I'm just gonna speak for me, being a woman of color, well, being a black woman in this world, and me, and you feel so attacked on a regular basis by people outside, and you get hard, and you have to turn into like, I don't care, I don't care what y'all think, I'm gonna do me, I'm gonna do me, I'm gonna do me. I would love to be a softer woman and just be like, oh, that's so lovely. You're going to take care of me. I feel safe enough to be vulnerable. I can cry around you and be okay with it. But I don't feel safe all the time. I feel very like guarded. And so it's like, oh, nope, I'm okay. I'm good. Don't worry about it. I'm good. When I'm not good. So I get that. And I understand that. And I empathize with her. And I hope that she feels safer in more and more spaces that she feels safe in, so she can be that soft person, and that people won't take her as she's just hard and she's just cold and she's just lacking, she's not approachable. It's not that. She just don't feel safe. She's guarded. Her life made her that way. So I hope she feels more safe in more spaces.
Me too.
Because I kind of like her. I did, in this moment, made me go, okay, I understand. So I felt for her. But
empathy. We were just talking about that.
We were just talking about that. Empathy. You just have to put yourself in other people's shoes and understand where they come from. But exactly. I do that. I have that for her. But we have that moment and we go right to the runway. I didn't do it fast enough, but it's okay. It's there. It's there. There are judges. The guest judges are there. The judges are there.
I feel like we've seen the guy.
He's a fashion designer.
Uh-huh.
So he's probably been on there before.
Okay, yeah, I think he might have been. Was he on last season? I can't remember.
I think so. I want to say so because I remember him too. So I kind of remember him. I think he was on last season.
But the girl, I really like her. I don't know their names. I'm so sorry.
I don't know their names either because
that's Logan's job usually.
Pops, but she's a singer and she's gorgeous.
And they said she works with a lot of the queens that have been on the show, so that's pretty cool.
I'm like, okay, cool.
I actually really also like, well, I will get into it later on, but I really liked how both of the guest judges interacted with Nikki. There's a specific moment that I will talk about. But as far as the looks go, I'll give you more details and look over here. But I will say this is an improvement for the panel, I think.
I
disagree.
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree. I like Nikki. I like Nikki, and that's it. We move. I'll talk more about it. Look over here. I'm trying to definitely not go too deep into it because I got lots to say about it. The ball games, and the first we're gonna go with the Flame Olympic, the torch, the Olympic Flame, the Olympic torch, and these are the looks that they brought with them for the torch look. So up first, David, do you want to start us off with this?
Yeah, I'll start off.
Okay, I'll go next.
A little frumpy.
Two different shades. Very distracting. It's the reveal.
Nice and simple.
Okay.
Leona. Really like the top half.
50-50. I don't get it.
Maybe too conceptual. This is how you do a torch.
Smoking. Fire. Pretty.
Very pretty, but a stretch for the theme. Stunning.
You know what? Smoking.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
Literally. Gorge.
I was thinking gorgeous, so just throw on one more syllable.
Right.
So good.
All right. Now we're going to do this is the looks that they made. But before we go into that, because I want to talk about everything that happened in this sequence, because we saw them come down the runway in their first look that they made. Everybody came down the runway, got to the critiques, and then all of a sudden this phone started ringing. And we're like, uh-oh, here's the phone. This is what we've been waiting on. And I know for me, and I know for David, we were like, they go call back and say, this is not over because Magnetica and Aphrodite are in the back with their looks, and they're going to come out and show their looks, and one of them has a chance to make their way back into this competition. I was waiting. I'm like, yes, do it. And Nikki answers the phone. It's like, huh? Uh-huh. Right now? Okay. We hangs up the phone like, this phone has never rung before. But I told you something was going to change. And what is changing is you have an hour to go back and make an accessory headpiece for the look that you already have. Now, some of these girls already have headpieces.
I know. I was like, poor Leona.
Right. She's like, what do you want me to do? I already have a headpiece. She's like, if you already have one, you must make another one. And so they're like, in an hour. Okay. So Ruby on the nail she's done. She's through. She is, this is horrible. I don't know what to do. Like, I barely scraped by to make this outfit, and now you're telling me I have an hour to make a headpiece. She's struggling. Everybody's trying to comfort her, but still make their headpieces.
And you know who comforted her the most? It was Philip.
It was?
Yeah, it was. Philip was there helping her, giving her a big hug, and even like trying to give her pointers with how to make the headpiece. So I'm like, come on, this is a good episode for her as a person, I think.
Absolutely. And it was interesting, but we did get the headpiece to it. So what we will show on the slide is the first look without the headpiece, and then the second look with the headpiece. So they're both on the same slide, but we'll go through it quickly. You start us off, Timon.
I thought she brought this.
I was like, yes, ma'am. With the headpiece. I was like, okay. The first look, good. Headpiece, wow. First look, I was like, okay. Headpiece, I was like, all right. Because she already had a headpiece. So now she had to come up with a different headpiece. But I was like, okay then. All right then. That's my word. Okay then.
I'll just say this is when I realized, oh, it's a design part. Because I literally thought, oh, they just brought another second look until I saw
Mm-hmm.
My girl Norma.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say significantly better than I would have expected.
I think she kind of ate this up.
Mm-hmm.
I think she kind of ate this up. Like, I did not think this was gonna be it. This is what she was gonna come out with, and both headpieces to me are really good.
Yep, I think one's a lot better than the other.
Yeah, agreed. 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 Um, I was surprised. That'll be my word for this.
I'm just gonna say in major need of tailoring.
I will give you why I said surprise and look over here.
Okay. Um, extremely impressive considering her background.
Mm-hmm. Um, it's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine on both accounts. That's all I'll say.
Mm,
mm, mm. I don't know what to think.
not one of my favorites.
I don't know what to think. Ooh, child.
Ooh.
Ooh, child.
Ooh.
Ooh, child.
One of the worst looks I've seen this year.
Yeah. Ooh, child. Ooh, child. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on.
Yeah. Busy, but still good.
Not mad.
Yeah.
That's a lot going on. Oh, okay, we won't go there yet. We'll talk about them. We'll talk about them. We'll save them for look
We'll
over
save
here.
them.
Yeah, we'll save them for
Yeah.
look over here because I kind of want that to be something special
A
for look over
surprise.
here.
Yes, we're going to start talking about the eliminated queens looks on Look Over Here. We just have to hope that they upload them in time. Luckily, the two eliminated queens so far did put up their looks.
Right.
And I'm very excited to talk about those.
Yeah, we'll hope that the other ones do put them up on in time for us to do this recording. So we get to the critiques, and we find out that our top three were Lula Stronga, Misty Phoenix, and Leona Winters. And I'm like, okay, that's probably who I would have maybe possibly had in the top.
Yeah, it's possible for me. I actually thought it was a top 4 at first because I thought Perseo was good too. And honestly, I think these 3 in Perseo were my favorite 4 made looks.
Okay.
So I was like, wait, one of them's in the bottom? That can't be right.
Right. But we did have a winner. Well, our bottom, not 4, but our bottom 3, because last week we had a bottom 4, but our bottom 3 was Perseo, Andeja, and Ruby. And I was like, I don't think Perseo should be in the bottom.
Right. I definitely think 2 of the people belonged here. For me, I think the safe girls were lucky that neither of them were at the bottom. But I know that we have different views on at least one of the safe girls.
Yeah, but
we'll get into it.
The bottom 2 were Ruby and Andeja. So they were going to be the lip syncer. Right. And the winner of this challenge was Lula Stronga. Now, I don't know if I would have had her win. For me, it probably would have been Misty.
Yeah, just based on the made looks, absolutely Misty.
Yeah.
As you heard, I wasn't crazy about Misty's first look though, so it's a little complicated. Right. I think based on what we were expecting from Lula, I think she really nailed it, and considering her background. But the same could be said about Leona too. So
right.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see once we score all of the looks,
Mm-hmm.
to see which one we have as number one.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So Ruby and Adeha are going to perform a song by the lady the person who's there. It's her song. Well, no,
Is it?
no, it's not. I think
Because I
she
was like,
said.
that's a classic song.
I
Didn't
think she did a
Blondie like?
cover of it. I think she did a cover of it at one
And
point.
Blondie
That's why
covered that
she's.
song too, right?
Who?
Blondie,
Probably.
I think so.
It's a classic song because I knew the song. I was like, oh, I remember. I've heard this song before, but I asked me the name of it right now. I wouldn't be able to tell you that.
That's Logan's job.
Absolutely, we blaming everything on Logan. It's Logan's job to do that, but no, we're not because Logan's amazing and we love you, Logan. Get your rest.
Mhm.
Shout out to Logan, but yeah, I don't know the name of the song because I didn't do the all of that, but I can tell you this: I didn't like this lip sync on either part.
I I think we've seen worse lip syncs lately, but yeah, it wasn't the best. Like, and you have two very specific camp queens doing this song too, and I don't think either of them fully leaned into the camp, which I kind of hoped they would. I think it could have been a really funny lip sync if they just really went for it. And I was trying to think, like, I can't really think of a time. I'm sure it's happened, but I can't think of a time when we've had two straight up campy queens lip syncing together. So I think it was kind of a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't enjoy it. I was just like, it wasn't my favorite lip sync that happened, and I was very like, well, all right, I guess, sure. Um, but I do think the person who won actually won. I agree with the winner, and our eliminated queen this week is Adeha Noir.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, and like I said, I agree with the winner. I thought it was Ruby kind of ate her up a little bit, even in this lip sync that wasn't so great. Ruby did what she needed to do to win. Ruby is turning out to be a little mini lip sync assassin right now, taking two people out back to back. So, uh, look out for Miss Ruby on the nail. That's what I say. But and Hawk goes and does her farewell, and she proposes to her boyfriend on her way out, and
Mhm.
was like, "Vincent, will you marry me?" And Nikki's like, "Who's Vincent?" I'm like, that's what I want to know. Who the heck is Vincent? And then she goes to the back and like, Vincent is my boyfriend. I proposed to him. He has no idea, but I figured this is the best way to do it in front of all the friends. And I was like, oh, wow. Now I need to know if he said yes. I'll go
Yeah,
stalk her Instagram. Like, did he say yes?
fair.
But
Yeah, I want to know too. It's definitely a memorable way to leave. And the second time we've seen something like this happen on Drag Race. So I don't know. Maybe it's going to be happening more frequently.
love that. Love that for everyone involved. But that's it. We didn't get what we wanted. We didn't get Magnetic or Aphrodite coming back. Um, Aphrodite coming back. We didn't get any of that. We just gotta do another challenge thing thrown at them. So whatever.
Oh,
Oh well. We do find out that next week is the Rusical. So we're like, I'm okay. Because last year's Rusical was really good. Last season's Rusical was really good. So I'm hoping this season's Rusical is good too.
me too. But that preview didn't make me feel optimistic. It seems like a
No.
lot of people are in trouble
Yeah. Yeah.
because
I was like, uh
yeah, like last year, I was like, oh, nobody should go home.
oh. Last year they were crying and oh my god. This year they were like, you could have did better than that. That was not good. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, uh-oh. So yeah, my hopes doesn't feel like it's going to be what I want it to be because last year the previews had nothing but good things and tears and oh my god, I can't believe that was so
Mhm.
amazing. And this was like, oh no, I didn't like that. So
Great. And it does seem like it's probably going to be Leona's to lose at this point,
Mhm.
which will be interesting because she's kind of trying to come for Kiona's
Oh,
record of
uh-oh.
being high all season. She's been high 3 weeks in a row.
Mhm.
I don't remember how long it took for Kiona to get her first win. Uh,
It was like week 4 or 5 or something
yeah,
like that.
and I'm like, oh, they're on a very similar trajectory.
Mhm.
So it should be interesting to see if Leona gets her win next week. It would not surprise me at all. Like at this point, I'd be kind of surprised if she didn't get the win.
Right. Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens, but that is all we got. We're gonna go and look over here, look over there, and look over everywhere so we can give you our in-depth scores and thoughts about the looks on this episode. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss that opportunity to watch that video because it's going to be fun. Me and David are going to chop it up over there and give you our thoughts. You can also check out all of our other channels that we have here, then subscribe to those channels and help us out. And we really appreciate you if you just subscribe. Even if you don't want to watch the videos, subscribe to the channel anyway. We need the subs. We need the subs. And we ain't too proud to beg. Hey, because we need them in the morning, in the middle. Okay, it's a copyright. Um, but yeah, hit the subscribe buttons on all of our channels. Let us know that you support us. We appreciate you. We want to keep giving you great content. Hit our membership page, join the membership to get exclusive content and early access content across all 4 channels. Um, Join our listen. Hit the links for our audio podcast channels so you can listen to us on the go. Um, Follow us on all of our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow David and myself if you want. Um, you can go and get your cup merch and do all of those things because we're cool people and we appreciate all of the things that you do for us and supporting us. So do all those things and go check out Look Over Here. It'll be out soon. Go check it out. Bye. Cheers.
Bye. Cheers.
You can do it. Go look over here.
Au revoir.
Go now. Go now.